I have clicked the button that tells me that I'm going live. And it is. Cool. Hello. I'm back with a Forge episode. Because that's what I do every week. It's very, very exciting. Very exciting. So yeah, what's going on? See if anyone's already lurking around in chat. I think there's like an hours old message by someone. If Ezekiel is still here. Hello there. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everything's going fine and dandy. I'm just here now talking about a movie which is a different movie from what I originally planned to do. Unfortunately, we had some tisms going on with the scheduling, so had to move that to next week. So yeah, instead of the wrestler today, I've just picked a random movie from the recommendation list that I've gathered along the streams and forges and whatnot, and I just picked Boss Level, which is like an action tism thingy going on with a time loop schleem. And that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. Yeah. Hello, Tucky. Hello. How's the flames? I'm just gonna fucking ramble on for a little bit so people have time to arrive, if you will. Let me just check if everything is working a-okay. Well, it says I am live. I can see the things. People can hear me. Very nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let me open a good old Dr. Pepper, Dr. Pooper right here. Oh, that was a good opening sound. I like that one. Good old Dr. Pooper. Didn't drink a review of this movie? I legit have no idea. Could have. Is it Dr. Pepper? Well, it's called Zero. I think that's the same for you guys. Like the one without all the sugar. Well, James, nobody asks, so shut up. Fuck. I'll tell you how's it going. Battles of Flume. Hey, you take that back. Beppis is better. You all just hating. You all just hate the haters and stuff. But yeah, boss level. I mean, I think the final episode of Halo came out, and people are very happy with the show, as they've been this whole way through, right? No, I heard it was shit. I didn't watch it. I never cared to watch it. I think the lads are doing EFA on it. I'm not around this weekend, so I'm not going to join that. So I dodged that bullet, fortunately. So I don't have to think about that. So yeah. I don't even drink the sodas. Wow. Good for you. I saw a horror defense of the Halo show. Oh, very nice. Kill Chief and had Cortana pilot his dead buddy. What the fuck? What is that show, dude? What is that show? Oh, God. Anyway, you dodged that splazer of a catastrophe. I mean, I still get to watch the Obi-Wan show, I guess, so hooray for that. Have you found a cure for being German yet? No, I'm sorry. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I can find a solution to that one. Yeah, I know you're serious. I've seen things like that on Twitter as well. It's just still fucking mind-boggling that that's a thing they did. Oh, it's so bad. I don't know what's going on with media, dude. It's just so awful. Which makes it even nicer. I started watching Star Trek: The Next Generation, and I started covering it with Jay. I think Jay put it on his second channel, if I saw that correctly. So we do a little Star Trek podcast thingy now on Jay's second channel, where we just talk about the episodes we've watched. And we watched the first 6 or 5, because the first 2 are like a big old pilot episode. So yeah, we talk about that. Go check that out. It's a fun schleem. We don't know yet how much we're gonna watch of TNJ, the next generation. But we're just gonna go and try that shit out. Just watch as much as we can, if you will. You covered Jay's face with what? Oh, come. So yeah, it's funny because people say the first season is like the bad season of Star Trek, and it's like, oh man, if that's a bad season, I'm looking forward to the rest. Because most of the things I've seen in the last couple of months is pretty fucking awful. But we already have some really good character work going on in Star Trek. So yeah, looking forward to watch more of that. It's fun stuff. I've never seen a more literal interpretation of parading a dead corpse of an IP. That's true. It's interesting because the Halo show was like so hyped up, and they got so much money to make it. There's like no cross promotion between the game and the show, which is bizarre to me. Unless they changed it by now, but as far as I know, there's like no mention of the show when you like play Infinite or something. You would assume if they would be cool with the show from the get-go, they would like promote the shit out of it during Infinite. Like you start up Infinite, it's like, oh, go watch the Halo show on, I don't even know which streaming service that's on. Is it like a Paramount or something? I don't know. It's just too many. So yeah, interesting that there's like no cross promotion or anything. Yeah, weird. It is Paramount? Okay. I thought I heard something like that, but I forgot. Yeah. Jeez. So yeah, I've been playing through Ocarina of Time on my Twitch again. That's been a lot of fun. The VODs for those are already on the archive channel as well. Probably won't be playing more of that until probably Sunday or Monday, because I'm busy over the weekend. In general, my Twitch streams have been since I've been done with Elden Ring and exhausted that. I kind of piped down the that much streaming, because I've been focusing on Metal's Forge and just some things in IRL that was like planned for a while that is just coming up, so I don't have that much time to stream. So I have just have shit to do, So yeah, but definitely looking forward to play more of Ocarina of Time, and right after that I'm gonna be playing Majora's Mask for the very first time. Looking forward to that one, because I always heard very good things about Majora's Mask, and I never played through it. So that's gonna be fun to play, hopefully, unless people lie to me and it's actually the worst game ever made, which I don't think it's gonna be. But yeah, Ocarina of Time, been good fun. I've been playing it with a high resolution pack as well, so I can play it in widescreen and shit like this. So yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, I played a fuck ton of Elden Ring. There's like almost 50 videos on my archive channel now from all the playthroughs I've done. It's actually only like two full playthroughs. It's like my first playthrough, then there's the playthrough where I beat bosses only with items. Then I started a tanky one before I started the item one. Then I got kind of bored of that one. And then I started doing a shield only run, had like a little break because I had to do some other stuff. Oh yeah, there was like a week where I watched like 2 movies in the cinema and did like 3 Metals Forges in 7 days because I was behind on Forge episodes. And when I went back, it's like, man, I don't really want to play Elden Ring anymore. So yeah, kind of got the burnout from that one. So I moved along and played something else. Items only and shields only. Yeah, so it's not completely items only. It's beating the bosses with items only. So I still farmed with the normal weapon and stuff. It's just a tismy thing I had an idea for, and then I went all the way through. It was pretty fun. I recommend checking it out. It was good stuff. Gods Can Do, yeah, and I stopped at like Gods Can Do. Gods Can Do was like the last one I thought with my shield only, and I was so annoyed by Gods Can Do. I was like, fuck this, I'm gonna play something else. I remember the moment your love of the shield run died there. I still think the shield run is good. The problem is the more I played Elden Ring, the more I realized there's like very little bosses I'm looking forward to fighting. There's like a lot of bosses that I just find annoying. So yeah. Oh yeah, Elden Ring. Gods Can Do especially is fucking horrible. You're right, Swole. I despise Gods Can Do. If I would have done a normal run, I would have just used the sleep pods. Or the sleep pods. Sleep pods were correct. Was correct. It just makes the fight less of a nuisance. Hey, hi to you, dude. Your first Elden Ring with magic was very interesting. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Especially when I started finding out, it's like, oh, rock throw is like super OP, and then I got the Kamehameha spell, and that just fucking shredded people. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Playing without summons makes me wonder if they built the game for solo play or not. Interesting. I think it's like summons are way too strong. I don't think they nerfed them a lot. I think they nerfed the Mimic a little bit, but that's about it. Yeah, I don't know. If Fortia has time at some point, I'll probably still do the co-op run with him. But I think the next time I'm gonna play Elden Ring is when there's like mods and shit, or more mods, because there's already mods out. There's like randomizers and everything around already. So maybe at some point I'll just randomly start doing the randomizer one. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't know when I'm gonna play Elden Ring DLC. Oh yeah, DLC is probably another reason for me to go back, just to check it out. I wonder if when they make a DLC, if they make a more streamlined experience again, like another Souls game, if you will. It's not just tack on another area. It's like, okay, you can go there now. So I don't know, maybe like a big level that has like the normal Souls experience from Dark Souls 1 or 3. So yeah, gonna be interesting to see what they come up with next. I would be very surprised if there's no DLC. It would be weird. And then we also have like this big cloud in the middle of the map, if I remember correctly. So I feel like there's gonna be a level in the middle. A really big open dungeon to explore. Yeah, it would be nice too. Tatooine level, all sand. No, please no. Gods Can Do feels like the bad reskin bosses from Dark Souls DAS2 DLCs. Should have been optional because the fight is a shame compared to other mandatory bosses. Oh yeah, Gods Can Do is fucking ugh. I saw someone comparing Gods Can Do with Ornstein and Smo on Twitter. I don't even know who it was. I think I just saw it randomly on my timeline, and it was like, oh, like something along the lines that Gods Can Do is what Ornstein and Smo was, but they thought the fight was good, but they hate this one, even though they're basically the same, which is fucking stupid. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, and I don't know who wrote it, but it made like no sense at all. Gods and Duo is just nowhere near of Ornstein and Smo. But yeah. It's fucking dumb. They don't work at all because they do the same thing. Yeah, they both have heal punishments. They both throw fire. They both are about the same speed. I find it very hard to get them separated. And if you finally do, you have like just a certain amount of time until they get together again. Or you just get stabbed from behind or something. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. I saw the opposite too, where they said Gods Can Do is what Ornstein and Smo wanted to be. Fucking hope not. I fucking hope this is not what they wanted them to be, because that would be a goddamn shame. It's close to impossible to get them separated long enough to do damage. Yeah, it's just really annoying. I just really don't like the fight. Use sleep pods. Just use sleep pods when you fight them again. That's what I'm gonna do when I go back and do the normal run again. Because, man. Or just get like a super OP weapon, I guess. I don't know. We're trying to shit on Ornstein and Smo are legit idiots. Can we start pretending Ornstein and Smo was a good boss fight? Fuck you mean pretending? Yeah, that's insane. Gods and Smo was like a really, really good boss fight. God, just makes me want to play Dark Souls 1 again. Doesn't have that many cringe bosses. Anyway, just someone banal. Yeah, dude, I feel like Gods Can Do is probably going to be the boss where like all rules are off the table. Like, fuck this, I'm going to summon, I'm going to do this. I just want to get away from them. Just want to get the fuck away from these fucks. Really hard, but it's very good. Yeah. Yeah, Gods Can Do. Good stuff. Always fun. So yeah, as I said, boss level is gonna be the topic today. This has been randomly picked from the recommendations I got over a couple of streams and stuff from my little list of recommendations. I just picked that out of there because Porcus and I had some scheduling issues, so we had to move the Wrestler one to next week. So next week on Sunday will be the Metals Forge on the Wrestler. So look out for that. So yeah, I picked this one randomly and it was like, I don't know what this is. This apparently has Mel Gibson in it, and apparently I guess it's video game related, which kinda is, but not really. We'll get into that. But yeah, I think like overall, this is like one of those movies you just put on if you just want to have something easy to watch. Maybe if you have the crew over, have some homies there, just chilling out, having some drankaroonies, and just have a stupid action movie on. That's one of the movies you want to put on. There's some fun stuff in there, some gory action. I mean, it's not a good movie. Let's be honest, it's not a great movie. But it's a fun movie. It's one of those ones. It might not be great or good even, but it is a very enjoyable and entertaining movie. So yeah, that's like the overall thoughts of that. But we shall go through it as I do today on my own, without anyone interrupting me in a stupid call, even though that's actually kind of fun if that happens, because conversations happen that way, and then you get better content. But you know what? We're doing it live, which I do every time, so I don't know why I said that. Anyway, let me get some moving picture roonies up here. I'm gonna put that over yonder. Make sure there's no sound. And oh right, I forgot the loop daddy, baby. Gonna basically just start this here and then go there. Yeah, that'll work. I still haven't found a quicker way to do the loop stuff. I haven't really found a a shortcut for this, because I think the loop function on VLC is just really useful. But yeah, that's just me. Whoa. Check interrupt. You still though. Shut up! Damn it! You interrupted me. Fuck. Anyway, boss level. We get a little intro sequence with like the producers and stuff, which has like a little bit of 8-bit music going on, or 8-bit or 16-bit. I have a hard time just separating, to be honest, but it's like a little retro feel, some retro music stuff. The logos are a little pixelated, just showing it's like, oh, this is probably video game related. Even start with a player select screen, and we pick a boy, which is called Roy, which is also our antagonist for the show, or for the movie rather. And we see that we move right into attempt number 136. And me as a real gamer, it's like, oh, is this gonna be a thing where the action hero or the character you play has become conscious, and now he wants to get out of this gameplay loop, because the next thing that happens is Roy describes exactly what happens. Like, oh, I need to move out of the way, I have to duck, I have to push this guy, and then I'm going to throw him some coffee in the face. And while all of this is happening, he just puts on his shirt, because he's done this 130 times. And he knows exactly when the helicopter is going to arrive, that you see a little bit in the background there. And he kills him with a knife. It's like, oh, this again, and do. So he's done this a million times. Okay, 130 times. I'm exaggerating clearly, because we see how many times we are. So he kills a helicopter gunman, and he just goes onto his couch. But all you can think of is that, man, I don't know how many times this happened before, but I wanted to stop. But he knows it probably won't. And he was happy once, and had like a wife that he loved, and even a child, which we don't know yet. But I'm gonna say it. Spoilers, by the way. So yeah, and he sees this apartment getting shredded over and over and over again, and he's like, "Oh man, I can't." I was like, "I know this is gonna be fixed the next time I wake up, but I can't stop thinking about how I probably won't never get the lease on this apartment back." So yeah, we kind of set the tone here. So he's apparently he's aware he's stuck in some kind of loop apparently, but he doesn't really know why it's happening or how it happened, and he knows of his life before the loop. But he's kind of content by now that it's probably not going to stop, because he doesn't really know why it's happening or what is going on. So yeah, this is basically the baseline. He's trying to progress further in the day, or in this level, if you will. And obviously, over the course of the movie, we're gonna figure out all the shenanigans that are happening. Easy for me to say. And we'll progress further and further, and get lots of things done, apparently. So yeah, his alarm goes off on his watch alarm goes off. He's like, oh shit, I gotta jump, and then he jumps safely on a truck that's driving outside. And then he says, I missed the truck exactly 22 times. And then we get a little scene where he misses the truck and gets run over by the truck. Like, immediately. It's like, if you wonder how it feels, it fucking hurts, he says. So yeah, actually let me grab that scene. Yes, no. Shenanigans. Yeah, he's doing all kinds of shenanigans. Let me just grab the timestamp here. It should be... Oh, there we go. This is when he misses. Boom, and gets run over. There's some they do some neat ragdoll effects in this movie that I kind of enjoy. So he gets horribly run over, and he basically just respawns immediately in his bed again, because he always wakes up in this bed next to his booty call, which gets killed, I think. And yeah, he kills the guy who comes up. Anyway, he goes and carjacks a guy, and it's like a recurring meme in this movie where he yells with the guy, "I'm getting carjacked!" That happens like 5 times in the movie. It's like a running gag, because he's done it so many times. It's like, oh, yeah, shut up, and he just throws him away. So yeah, but he gets followed by 2 ladies in a van that try to kill him this whole time. It's like, oh yeah, and we see him getting rid of them. Just they crash or something, and it's like, oh, and then smooth sailing from here on out. And he thinks for a second. It's like, oh wait, did I get to the bus yet? And then we just see him getting fucking crashed from a bus, like it's a bus from the side, and he flies into the bus through the windshield. Yeah, there it is. Let me show you. It's like, oh, did I get to the bus yet? And it's like, bam, just yeets in there. And he's like, nope, didn't see the bus yet. So yeah, if you can't tell already, this is like a very, very comedy-heavy movie for the most part, and it's fun and entertaining. It was working a while ago. It was so much fun to watch. Yeah, it's a fun one to watch for sure. So yeah, he says like, oh yeah, every day felt the same, but then May 9th came, and every day is the same. I'm not even sure what exactly that was. Hang on. Yeah. Oh yeah, he goes back to like, we go like back and forth through attempts at some points when Roy tells us about what has happened. So it's like, yeah, the same wake up scream, the same machete wielding asshole, but always with slight variation. And then we see him, this variation is he just stubs his toe. He's like, oh, motherfucker. And he says like, oh, I die every single day. And then we get like a highlight reel of him dying. He gets headshotted by the ladies in the car. And he says, oh yeah, it just took him a while to get the timing down on these two. So he's just showing us things that he tried and how many attempts it took and stuff. Oh yeah, and then I lost my notes. Oh, there. So yeah, it took him a while to take the timing down, and then he gets to like an Asian lady. I think she's called Guyan Yin something. And then he says, "Oh, you wonder how I know her name?" It's like she says it every time she kills you. She's like, "My name is Guan Yin, and Guan Yin did this." She says it every time he kills him. And it's like, oh, this is like this is like a boss fight. This is like a video game. Like he must be in a video game, right? This is what we're going for, right? We aren't actually. It's not a game at all. But hey, we'll get there. Oh yeah, and there's this random guy that kind of looks like him. And we also have some black German twins, which is kind of funny in concept. At some point they kill him by counting up to 3 in German and just rocket launch him to death. It's quite funny. And then he gets blown up by a dwarf with explosives. And then someone who looks like him, as I said. And then sometimes he kills the enemies, but every time that happens, another one of them gets him. So no matter what he tries, he always gets killed by one of them. And he just doesn't know why this is happening, but he also never had really time to think about it. because as soon as he wakes up, he just has to fight immediately. Because, as I said, he wakes up, this guy is trying to chop his head off, he has to dodge, fucking kill him, helicopter going on, all that good stuff. And then we see him trying to call his ex-wife. But Mel Gibson takes the phone, who plays Colonel Clive Venter. Was a weird name. But he's his ex-wife's boss. And he just tells him, oh yeah, she's dead. She took a nasty slip and broke her neck. And so it's like, nah, that's bullshit. That didn't happen. While this is happening, we see the German twins in the background getting some RPGs. This is where they start to count to 3. Yeah, so like 1, 2, 3, and then boom. Oh wait, I didn't actually. Hang on, I'm a dumbass. Let me get this here. There you go. So they count to 3. It goes like this. 2, 3. He's gone. Oh, this is so funny. But yeah, we got Mel Gibson in this, which is kind of fun because he's just doing well. He's Mel Gibson. I don't think you can give him anything bad, really. So yeah, Roy obviously doesn't believe that his ex-wife is dead, and he wonders who did it. And yeah, while that is happening, he gets blown up by these two. So yeah, but he never lived long enough to actually find out who did the killings. And now we go back to the part where we left off with the bus. The next try after this, where he gets chased by the 2 ladies. It's nothing crazy. It's just a little chase scene. Actually, I should probably say we just get introduced. So what we know by now, Roy is stuck in a time loop of some sorts, or a video game, if you will, because right now you could still kind of think this is a video game going on, but we pretty soon get an explanation what is actually happening in like 10-15 minutes, at least in movie time. So yeah, I was going to say, right, we're not in a game, we're like in the time loop, we're in an actual time loop. He has to kill all these people because he gets attacked by assassins. And no matter what he does, even if he kills 1 or 2 of them, one of them always gets them from like an ambush from behind or whatever, because there's like, I think there's 8 of them, 7 or 8, and there's always one left over that kills him in the end. So he's trying his hardest, but just can't get it done. So yeah, and now we go back to the past. I mean, it's a pretty straightforward setup for now. It's like, oh, we have a time loop. At some point, he figured out that his ex-wife died, and now he's trying to figure out how it happened. But while he is still testing things out with the days he's done, he doesn't actually know yet how it happened, because he's still trying to figure out how and where he can go without getting killed immediately. So yeah. We go back to the thing where he gets chased by the 2 ladies. It's just, as I said, a chase scene. Lady on the where she tries to shoot him with a rifle. She can't quite get him. She says, "Oh, I think I have to get serious with this one." She gets out a grenade launcher. Starts blasting him, but misses. What I noticed, I think the misses you see are not like super insane. I mean, we obviously get some of the stuff with the with bulletproof cars and whatnot, so he doesn't really get hit when the car gets hit. It doesn't travel all the way through him. So yeah, she gets out a grenade launcher, and he just kind of dodges. He hides behind another car, which gets blown up. And I think there's like 2 of them when they get to a factory building, where she misses twice more. No, only once, I think. Because it's right when he turns around the corner and she hits the corner, and then the second one is... No, I think there's not a second one. I think this was the second one. So the first one is the car she hit, and then the second one is right before he turns a corner. Oh, no, I lied. There was like a close miss just now. Okay, so I just missed the third one. I'm an idiot. So yeah, it was a pretty close hit. I mean, that would probably still fuck up your car if that would be a real grenade. But, you know, if we go by action movie logic, it's fine. It's fine, I guess. But yeah, they go into this factory building, the old abandoned factory building thing. And they try to cut him off, but when they bounce into each other, the grenade launcher falls to our boy Roy. He grabs it, stops. Oh, voice crack, nice. Stops the car, gets out, tries to hit them while they're driving. He misses them, but they come to a standstill. And then the third one, he just fucking explodes them right away. And there we go. So yeah, he got rid of the two ladies. He got a GG right there. And then he stops to think for a second. It's like, nah, they deserved it. And there we go. So yeah, wasn't a right chase scene. Nothing too crazy, but also nothing too insulting by I guess action movie standards, if you will. So yeah, don't really have anything else to say about that. Was fine. The CGI looked a bit wonky, I think, but the CGI looks a bit wonky throughout the movie because this is not like a high budget movie. So yeah. And then we go to a Chinese bar / restaurant where he orders two. I think it's like baju, some alcoholism, some booze. So yeah, he just sits there, orders the stuff, and then he tells us exactly what happens here because he has been to this place a bunch of times already as well. He has to sit down at a certain time. Then a famous world champion sword fighter comes in. Oh man, I wonder if she's going to be important later on. Security dude named Dave always tells him the same thing no matter what he answers. Another pointer at this is that this might be a video game that's actually happening, which it isn't. And then there's also always a guy that trips, but he never wants him because it is hilarious and it happens every time, and that's the only nice thing he has these days. And he always laughs his ass off when this guy falls over. Can relate. So yeah, and then Dave always leaves at a certain time, and he gives like a little joke, like a little punch in the gut, where he says, "Oh man, hopefully they don't poison the baju supply or baju." I actually don't know how to pronounce it. I forgot. So yeah, I in my notes I described it as being the next level, but we later learn that he doesn't actually has to go here. He just goes here. He goes here because he knows he's gonna be safe here for a couple of hours and can just drink his day away until the assassins come around to kill him at some point. And he says, "Oh, at least this way it doesn't hurt as much because I'm fucked up drunk." Oh yeah, and then at some point Dave tells, Dave is about to leave in this time, and he says, "Oh, Dave, come back, sit down. I'm going to tell you a story." And then Roy, as the narrator over this scene right now, tells us that he always tells variations of how he died, like Roy died to Dave when he had too much to drink. So we're already a couple of cycles in, and when Roy gets too fucked up, he tells Dave stories of how he died. And in this version, he tells him how he got shot in the face, the bullet entered through the side of his mouth. And then when he was alive again, he remembers that he tasted steak before he died. And he describes it as a really good ribeye. And at some point it occurred to him that it was his tongue being cooked by the bullet. Which, you know what? I found that kind of cool that they did that. I think that's a fun thing to fuck around with. Just talking about how it feels, what you feel right before you die or something. So yeah, I found it pretty nifty. I don't really think they fuck around anymore with this after this, because I just found it kind of. I kind of like this. Because it's just stuff you normally don't think about. It's like, oh yeah, what happens if you get shot in the face? What do you feel in your last couple of seconds? It's like, oh yeah, I tasted my cooked tongue because someone shot me in the face with a M40 or something. But I don't think they do it more, apparently. But yeah, after he tells the story, Dave and the barman laugh and leaves, and go like, oh, look at him, he's fucked up. When I die violently in my dreams, I taste iron. Oh, okay. Interesting. Let me just. Oh yeah, and the guy behind the bar is the guy from Community. Let me just double check if I'm not fucking up the shows right now. No, that's him. That's the teacher from Community. Fuck, what was his name? Hang on. I'll have it here in a second. Ken Jeong. Oh yeah, he's Senor Ben. Ben Chang, I think it was, or just Chang. But yeah, he's playing that role. So there you go. So yeah, then Roy tells us around this time that he normally has a really good bus, and at exactly 12:47 p.m. He says he never made it past this point, because at this point these assholes always get him. No matter what he does, no matter how hard he fights, they always kill him. So every time at 12:47, all the assassins arrive here and just kill him. And this is why he decides to just booze up like crazy, so he can just get this over with and get shot to shit. So yeah, he doesn't know why, but they always do, and he hasn't figured out why they do it. And then we just see Roy get fucking annihilated. So yeah, he says that this is where he decides that he needs a plan, and well, all he has is time. And yesterday was months ago. And then we go back to quote unquote yesterday, which is the day before all this bullshit started. And now it's exposition time! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So yeah, Roy goes to the facility where his ex-wife works. She's a researcher. They have a conversation. And well, there's nothing crazy here. It's a pretty standard action setup. Like our guy's ex-military Navy Delta Force dude, and he's like obviously good at fighting because of that. He's broke. He needs work. So he brought his resume because she's apparently hiring for something. She tells us later on that's for a very special security gig or something. They also had a kid together, but the kid doesn't know Roy is the dad because he was always gone for work. And he is obviously still, actually they're both still kind of in love with each other as we go over the story later on. It's just like, oh yeah, they actually want to get back together, but she wants the old Roy back, who was like super cool and she fell in love with. And funnily enough, it's almost like a side thing while they talk about all this this relation stuff. You're like, Roy just asks, oh, what is this thing over there anyway? And she's like, oh yeah, they built a device that's like super good, and if it's not properly used, it can destroy the world. It's like, oh, okay. just on the side, because Roy looks at this big circle-like machine. He's like, oh, what's that thing? He's like, oh yeah, this can destroy the world if not properly used. Anyway, let's move along. Just really weird. But yeah, at this point I was just listening. This is our setup. We get some character stuff. It's fine. There's nothing stupid about it. It's just pretty cut by numbers. Yeah, let's just go by cut by numbers. I don't. You know what I mean. It's pretty standard action stuff. While they talk, we see that Colonel Venter watches them on the security. And he has this feeling that he will be trouble or something, and he doesn't like him. And then we see his security officer or head of security go like, nah, it'll be fine. It doesn't sound that great, because he read out that he read on his resume that he was like Delta Force and oh, I'm so good. And Venter just says that nobody notices the fly until it ruins a good soup for you. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, why did I only wrote... Wait, I wrote her name down here somewhere. Why did I start with just calling her she, but not her name? It was like Jima? Fuck. Hang on. That's gonna bug me if I'm not gonna check it. Balls. Maybe someone in chat remembers. Oh, I hate when I do that. Normally I write the name down the first time and then I do a different... Fucking hell. There's no way I'm gonna find in my notes. Anyway, his ex-wife. Completely forgot her name. Shit. Hang on, this is good. This is bugging me. What an embarrassment. Her name is Gemma. Gemma Wells. Gemma is her name. So Gemma tells him that she is hiring someone for a very specific security detail. And Roy just asks when he can start. And she just says, sooner than you think. It's like, oh no. And then she makes it very clear that he has to check the present she sent him a couple of days ago for his birthday. And she also tells him to remember Osiris. Yeah. So we get some clues dropped here. She sent him something that's apparently very important, and he needs to remember the words Osiris. I think she just said Osiris twice. It doesn't matter if it's twice. It's just like, yeah, remember Osiris. I think the delivery-wise, they could have done a bit of a better job, because he just says Osiris. Like it's meant to be 2 times, but I don't think it actually matters that it's 2 times. Because, yeah, you just need it once. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. So yeah, there's more exposition, blah, blah. Roy fucks off. And he expects to get hired, I think. So Gemma needs to go see Venter. Roy gets escorted out, and she gets brought to Venter. And then we see her and Mel Gibson, who are very clearly not in the same room when this was filmed. Because they very deliberately shoot it. Oh yeah, you're right. I should have meant. Yeah, you're right, Zero. She takes some of his hair with a scissor and also cuts him a little bit with it. So she has a blood sample and his hair. You're right. Thank you for mentioning that. I don't know why I didn't write that down. That's actually very important. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, that's important. She does that. So yeah, those two are very clearly not in the same room, because we don't see them really talking face to face. Like when we see them, it's mostly shots like this. So we can't see her face, but we can see him from the front and vice versa. I think there's like when they sit together on the couch, but it doesn't look like they're actually there, if you know what I mean. See if I can find it. Yeah, we get like close-ups of Mel Gibson and we can't see her. They very deliberately shoot it that way. And also there's some really, really bad ADR going on where you can tell that what he is saying and the way his you can see like his cheeks move and like the side of his mouth a little bit. It clearly doesn't line up. They did a pretty bad job of that one. Let me see if I can find. I think I have a timestamp 29:55. Hang on, because I kind of have to play this with audio a little bit, just to maybe get it across better. So yeah, because he just kind of sits down in front of her, and then yeah, let's see if we can get this really quickly. So look at the side of Mel Gibson here. So just look at his face and then listen.
Make you piss your pants. The sound alone is...
Did you see that? Like he wasn't talking anymore, but his head was still moving like he was talking about something. And there's more. I obviously can't show them all because of copyrightisms. So yeah, it's pretty bad ADR. And they're clearly not in the same room. But I think that later on there's some of them in the same room. I wonder if it was probably like COVID restriction. Was it? Because that came out 2021. So I wonder when everything was shot. Well, probably just when COVID started. So yeah, I don't know. They didn't hide it very well. Let me put it that way. So yeah. Anyway, she tells him that there's a minor delay for the project. He's like, oh, how much? He's like, oh, 1 or 2 weeks. There's like consequences, and this is not an exact science. He's like, oh, what we need to be exact, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes on to tell her about a mission in Burma, where he was sleepless for 36 hours, trying to squeeze out a W for his team, and then he hears a squeal, which is apparently a boar, and then he gets attacked by the boar. But before he can deal with the boar's attack and realize what's going on, a python comes out of a tree and squeezes the boar and fucks up the boar like crazy. And it's like, oh man, this is crazy. And he thought, oh, this was like lucky me, because the python just wanted to fuck up that boar apparently. But then he realizes a little bit later on, while he was thinking, I was like, oh shit, wait, there was the python's eggs were right there, and the boar was about to trample these things. So it wasn't an act of malice, it was an act of love by the python. So yeah. I'm sure that has something to do with how the movie ends. I'll be honest, I forgot about this happening when I finished the movie. So I'm just trying to think if that line goes back around at all. Not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, he basically doesn't want any visitors anymore. No past boyfriends. And she should let him know when there's any delays and stuff. I even wrote down, this is probably going to be rent for the story, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So we're basically tied to the fact she's a mother. Yeah, probably. Something along those lines. Obviously, the delivery by Mel Gibson from this little story is pretty cool, because Mel Gibson is great. So no complaints there. Oh yeah, we see... So here's the thing. I'm actually not 100% sure. So we see at least someone resembling Mel Gibson. I'm pretty sure it's not Mel Gibson. I think it's someone else. I can't really tell because it's so far away. So I don't know what. So either this is a double, uh, that's far enough away so you can actually think it's Mel Gibson. Mungo Gibson. Yeah, he's my favorite. Uh, or if they were actually in the room together at some point and were able to do these scenes, but they couldn't do the scene where they were talking to each other before. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's just someone who looks similar. But yeah. Anyway. Mm. Um, Unfortunately, we're still not done with the exposition tisms because now we go to because we're not done with the yesterday day yet. Because Roy has left, he went to a bar, and we see the night where he picks up the girl. He picks up the girl he wakes up to every night. And she at some point she goes to the toilet. They just flirt with each other. Go like, "Oh, you're smart and beautiful, and I'm horny. Yeah, me too." And then he talks to the girl behind the bar, which he has known since he started drinking there, since he came back from overseas. And yeah, if you couldn't tell yourself already, this is basically your confirmation that he's still in love with his ex. Because she tells him that he's still in love with someone else. And blah, blah, blah. And I started to get a little bored here because we got a lot of exposition-tisms going on, which is not super interesting. But then we get one important part because he gets a call from Gemma, and she says that she needs to do something drastic. We see her put the blood sample and the hair in like a part of the machine, and she apparently goes to activate the machine. And Venter says, "Oh, she went rogue, so we need to go get her." So obviously they were the ones who killed her. But the connection is bad, so it goes out, and he says, "Oh, if you're not fine, just call me back. It's cool." And then he and his booty call go back to the house, and they have the big fuck. So yeah. Now we hear Roy saying that he regrets not calling her back. Let me just skip ahead here a little bit. Because they spend quite a bit of time getting this information to us. So I think this is all the information we basically need. So he regrets not calling her back, and then he finally remembers. Oh wait, she was talking about the present. And then he opens it up, and this is a book called Eset and Osiris. And he also remembers the Osiris part, and he opens it to find a happy birthday wish. And it says, "May you live forward and remember that time waits for no man." And then we get another thing, it just says, where he reads it out, like, XOXO, fuck me. Because he forgot about the helicopter when reading this, and just, he covers. This is probably my favorite thing about the movie. Because he was like, this guy's like, he's like, "Ah, fuck me," and then he turns around. It gets shredded by the helicopter by covering his face. It's like, this is like the fun stuff. That's just stuff I like. It's funny. Very entertaining. So yeah, just pass out Mootle. I was paying close attention. Okay. Right, so we fast forward to the first couple of fights he normally has that we've seen already while he checks the book. So now he's reading and driving at the same time and forgets the bus again and crashes into the bus as I already shown you. But he takes longer to die this time, so he just lies there and thinks that, just fucking die already. Jesus, he just says that in his voice. It's like, just die already. God damn it. We see like an old lady step on his face as well. But yeah, some more montages from the beginning. He gets rid of the two ladies in the car, realizes that, and then he realizes for the first time that there's a nitro infusion on this car. It's like, oh shit, how did I never notice this? Now that I think about it, I don't remember if that actually comes back again, if that comes up again. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. his fourth wall self-awareness and resulting death are humorous. Yeah, I quite like the comedy bits. As I said, it's a fun movie. It's a funtism. So yeah, and then we see again that he. Oh yeah, because he used the nitro, he missed the path off to the Chinese restaurant he normally goes. And then we get like other. It's like because every time he goes somewhere else that isn't the Chinese restaurant, he gets killed. Again, one time he gets killed by Smiley with a hook shot through the chest, and then he gets dragged back. Hang on, I'll show you this one. It goes like this, like hey. Oh no! It's like. I was like, did you see the rag dolls as well? This is really fun. I was like, fuck. He's like, blah, blah, blah. Does he use it to jump the fence later? Oh, he might do. He might do. I'm not sure. You could be right. I don't remember. So yeah, he goes to a place where you see like people skate and inside a building. And it has like an arcade in the underground in it. And then he reads the book with the Osiris and says something about Osiris enemies cut him up into a bunch of pieces and scattered it across the lands. And he's like, what the fuck of kind of birthday present is this? But then he sees this Soon flooping around here. And he's like, oh, what the fuck is this fellow doing here? Doesn't he have like school and shit? And he sees him buying something from a random stranger. It's like, is my son buying drugs? He's just 11 or something. You can't do that. And he follows him into an arcade thingy. And he pays the entry fee for games. And then he just kind of makes fun of the 40-year-old one guy that works here because he likes video games. And that's like clearly the oh look, that nerdy 40-plus-year-old. What a weirdo. What is he doing here in this arcade? And I was like, I mean, he works here. I mean, might as well like video games as well. I don't know. Also the way he looks like just like one of those fucking super duper nerds. Like here, look at this guy. It's like, oh, what are you doing? Do you have a son here or something? It's like, nope. I'm just working here, just hanging out. I like the video games. And Roy's like, what a weirdo. I don't know. It didn't really work for me because he works here, he has a job here, and he likes it. I don't know. It's just like I can't really. I'm all for making fun of gay Moors. But that one wasn't very good. Anyway, he goes up to his son, but he doesn't know he's his father. But they know each other because they still hang out once in a while. He's just like his mother's friendo. And he asks him, "Hey, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be in school?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I ditched." He ditched, and mom's probably gonna be pissed. And Roy tells him, "Oh well, I won't rat you out unless you tell me what you bought from the guy." And the little one goes like, "What guy?" And Roy just looks and is like, "Come on." He's like, "Oh, that guy." He's like, "Oh yeah, I bought an RPG card game where you can be all these assassins and stuff." And my first thought was like, oh shit, are we gonna finally tie into like a video game stuff that's happening? Because assassins, he's getting chased by assassins. That's gonna be important. No, it won't be. Never gonna be brought up again. It's just randomly he bought an Assassin's RPG card game. I thought it would be important, but yeah. I don't know. Anyway, oh yeah, while he walks through the arcade, we see him. So here's the thing, we still do like this weird thing where we could assume that this is all like a a video game happening. Because now he's walking in front of all these screens in the arcade and they all like flicker and they're like, oh, there's interference, like, oh shit, what's going on here? Apparently it's just because he's getting tracked. So his tracker is like really strong and that causes the interference is my guess. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. And then he's like, okay, let's go grab some luncharoony then. And in case you haven't noticed all the flickering in the arcade, we get like a close up of a screen here. It's like, oh, why is this weird interference? But then he goes away and the interference is gone. So yeah, and then he has like this inner monologue that he needs to tell his mom is gone, but he can't really do that because he's scared of what is going to happen. And then the kid tells him that his mom said that he is a badass, and they have like a conversation, blah blah blah. Honestly, I just wanted more action to happen at this point. But he goes like, oh yeah, are you like Liam Neeson and Taken? It's like, yeah, but I'm not fake. I'm like a real badass. And they're like, yeah, cool. And then he go outside and he's about to tell him that his mom died. But then he looks up, looks at the screen. He's like, wait, I made it 3 more minutes than I ever made it before. Why did that happen? And then it occurs to him, oh man, the Chinese restaurant was completely out of metal and I was underground. Those fuckers are tracking me, and they couldn't track me because I was underground and encased by metal, so they had a hard time actually getting to me. Yeah, and before he can say anything else, he just grabs his son, goes around, does a little spinaroo, shields him from all the bullets, and he gets killed again. And in his dying breath, he tells him that he is his father, which obviously doesn't really mean anything to the son, because we're just gonna reset here. But it meant a lot to him because, like, oh man, this made me feel my loved son for the first time. And he really wants to get this cycle broken. So yeah, he wakes back up. He beats up the first guy that attacks him. He immediately asks him, where's the tracking? Who's tracking me? Where's the device? And the guy tells him to fuck off, and it's up your ass. So for his troubles, he gets a knife stab in the butt, and then he gets yeeted in front of the helicopter, and gets killed. Then we go straight to the Chinese restaurant, where he goes straight to the bathroom, where he completely unclothes and checks like all of his body. For the tracker, he's just standing there in his shorts, and then one of the restaurant guys looks in. Roy looks back and is like, "What? You want to help me look?" And he just goes away. So yeah, then he can't really find anything. He goes back out, and then he remembers, oh wait, Dave is like kind of a nutcase. He's like conspiracy theory stuff and is knowledgeable in security things. And he goes like, where would you put a tracking device? Because he's a conspiracy crack, and so he's just like, oh man, I would probably put it in the molar. I was like, oh, can you tell? Can you tell if this is if my molar would be one? It's like, I mean, not like this. I would need to get it out so I can check it. And then he goes over to Chang and is like, I need a bottle of baijiu and pliers, please. So and then we cut to the bathroom and just hear like, and he rips out one of his molars. And it was the wrong one the first time around. It's like, nah, this one was a normal tooth. And then he rips out the other one. It's like, oh shit, this is one. In the case of his tone, awkwardness, and eventual epiphany are well performed, hits the fields. It's definitely well performed, but I'm not sure it makes sense. I think they could have written the family dynamics a bit differently. I honestly, I just didn't really care for it. I was like, oh yeah, no, we have the reasoning for a protagonist. Yeah. Oh yeah, and when he gets told he would hide it in the molar, he remembers he was at the dentist and he get like knocked out, and he remembers like a silhouette in his view, and there was the head of security right there. It's like, motherfuckers actually tricked me. What a bunch of danguses. So yeah. Oh yeah, and it's like, oh shit, this is the tracker. This is crazy. How did we do that? It's like, oh man, they tracked me. Now I know what's happening. And like shortly after he sees that, the bathroom door opens and he gets killed and just says, I'll see you soon, Dave. Yeah, and then we reset. He kills the one guy. Blah 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 blah. He goes back to the Chinese restaurant. Gets out the tooth. Crushes it. Oh no, he doesn't crush it because he uses this to rile in the other assassins. And yeah, he uses the tracker to get one of his assassins to get to like an abandoned building of some sort. It's weird because now I'm starting to ask questions how the assassins operate. Because apparently when the later time hits, they all come for him at once. But now he's able to lure them out one by one. So I'm not sure how this works with the assassins. Because later in the movie, we also see them all are about to leave at the same time in an elevator where he fucking kills them all for revenge almost. Even though he already got his revenge after this scene. Anyway, it's like weird. I don't know why why sometimes they come alone and sometimes they come all after another. I guess we're kind of consistent in the way that they always come all together they always come together. They always come together at the later time, but before that they all come one by one in his action scenes. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Just started to make me ask questions. Anyway, he gets this one lady assassin. Who gets then ambushed because he just put the tooth on the ground, and he says, "Drop the gun." He's like, "No, I want to drop this gun. This I got this from an auction. It cost me 500 grand, and it was also hand fitted by the weaponsmith, which cost 700. So it cost another 250,000." And then the Roy's like, "Why fuck would you pay so much money for a gun? It's insane." It's like, oh yeah, there's only 6 of it in the whole world, and he takes it away from her, and he looks at the gun, and it's like, it says AH on it. It's like, why is it saying? She's like, oh yeah, Adolf Hitler. It's like, you've been killing me with Hitler's gun this whole time. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know. This came completely out of nowhere. It was, I think it's fucking hilarious. He's like, oh yeah, it was like a personal gift from the weapon manufacturer to Adolf Hitler. There's only 6 of them, blah, blah. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And she's like, oh, are you gonna kill me now? And he's like, no, I'm gonna shoot you. And he shoots her in the gut like 2 or 3 times and says, that's for the Jews. And then he goes, turns around, shoots her again. Those ones too. And we cut away. I don't know, it's probably my favorite scene in the movie, where they just have this casual talk, and just like, you've been killing me with Adolf Hitler's gun this whole time. I don't know, I think it's great. It just hit the comedies for me. I loved it. I love that scene. It's funny as hell. Anyway, we cut away, and then we see him killing Smiley. The Smiley guy with the hook shot, and tells the same thing to him that he said to him this whole time. And the rest of the assassins he just kills off screen apparently, or incapacitates them off screen, and puts them all in a big old pile with some explosives and blows them all up. So he killed all the assassins this time. Good job. He's making progress. And he grabs the phone from one of the guys, and it's the head of security of it. It's like, oh, did you kill him? He's like, oh, who's talking? It's me. It's like, oh shit, what are you up to? What are you doing? It's like, oh, I fucked them all up, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, now I'm coming for you guys. And then we see him in front of the facility with the car. He's like, I'm sick of this covered bullshit. I'm just gonna go in, guns blazing. And he starts driving at a fence. And I don't know. I didn't laugh at that when I watched it, but now seeing it again, he just goes full speed and boom! It crashes into the wall. I don't know why this is getting me now. I didn't laugh at that when I watched it for the first time, but it's just so funny. Like, I'm gonna crash through the fence and fuck them all up, and he just crashes into the wall, and then the security comes around, is like, oh, great plan, idiot, and just shoots him in the face. I don't know. I didn't laugh at that hard when I watched it on my own, but I don't know, for some reason this fucking got me now. Anyway, now we get like almost a montage of him trying a bunch of things just to get into the base. This time he yeets the car over the fence, has a bomb in it, and when the security man is all tried to clear it, he blows him up and kills them all away. Then he goes in, but the head of security guy is already there and shoots him, and he just says, "Oh man, this is fine. I can do this all day." And we get like more stuff that he tries. He waits for the guy that kind of looks like him to get his outfit. He kills him, takes his shit. Apparently, time-wise now, from what I understand, he didn't bother with anything else. He just goes straight for the base this time, like every time. So he doesn't kill all the assassins every time. Which, in hindsight, actually, I think it would have been smarter. Okay, so I'm gonna jump ahead here a little bit, because after he finally gets into this facility and kills all the people, he hears that, oh yeah, someone has actually been sent to your son and he's been killed this whole time. And he has this whole revelation of how it's like, oh shit, I let my son die every single time I tried to get in here. Man, how many times did I let him die? And it's like this whole breakdown, like the low point of the movie, or the second low point of the movie. I think it would have been much more effective, in a way. How do I put this? So instead of going here immediately every time when he tries it again, every time he goes through the motions of killing all the assassins and then getting here. Because he has this triumphant thing going on in his mind. It's like, yeah, I finally did it. And when he then... It's weird. It's weird because... I'm confused now. I'm a bit confused because when he goes here before he gets to the assassins... So I assume... Oh man, my head is spinning now. So I assume he goes to the China every time before he goes to the thing. So now he is there with not all of them leaving now, because we see that some of the guys are still here because he fights a couple of them here. Like he kills the guy that kind of looks like him to get his stuff. He later fights the lady with the sword here. So I think only some of them leave. And then some of them don't. But later on, they're all here. But then again, at that point, he goes straight for the facility from his apartment with the helicopter. It might check out. I think I probably need to think about it further. But I don't know if all the time things line up, how it happens. See, now I'm maybe contradicting things in my head myself. I don't know. I think it works either way, actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's not. I think overall it's probably not going to be a big issue, but it might be a bit of a tism. I don't know. I think we get to the same conclusion anyway, because his son gets killed this whole time, one way or another. I think it could have been elevated, if you will. I think it works either way, but I think it could have been elevated if he would have gone out of his way to kill them every time, but his son died anyways. So he went through the trouble of killing them all, then getting into the facility, instead of going to the facility, doing all the things, but the other assassins are still alive, if you catch my drift. But when he tries to save her, the kid dies? No. I was just trying to figure out if there would be a more effective way to get him to realize that. But I think it doesn't matter that much. I would have need to think about it harder, but it's fine. It's fine. I just went through an arc in my head and rambled a little bit. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, he waits for the guy, kills him, gets his shit, takes his ID. He gets through the main gate. Through the main gate security, gets to an elevator, and he tries his ID card on the thing, and he has no access. And there's a guard in there. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh man, it must be broken. And then he gets shot by the guard. If they knew where the kid was, how come they didn't find him when he went there and they lost him on a tracker? I think they kill him later when the kid normally exits the arcade on his own. Because when we finally figure out that it happens, it's like shortly before the whole device blows up. So I think that tracks time-wise as well. Because they kill the kid, all the police is there, and when he gets there, the device explodes that ends the world, which we'll get into. But I think it tracks time-wise. It's kind of muddled because we have so many weird things happening. But yeah. He gets shot by the guard in the elevator. On this next attempt, he kills the elevator guy. Gets up there. But the rest of the security is already waiting for him where he goes. And he sees them. He's like, oh, fuck this. And then he just puts the gun into his head and shoots himself. And the security guy looks at the guy. He's like, that was weird. Then next time he notices that there's a camera in the elevator. And then he somehow apparently manages to strip the guy in the elevator and take his outfit. I'm taking issue with that one because he enters the elevator in I think, a crowded area. So if we assume he got him out of there, killed him and stripped him and get back in with his stuff, I don't think this is going to work. Because he needs to get the guy out of the elevator somehow, which he couldn't do because there's people downstairs. So yeah, I don't think that's checking out, but I guess we just have to roll with it for now. So yeah, he gets to a big room finally, where the assassin's lady with the sword is. And yeah, this is where he's having trouble killing her with his handgun and Uzis and stuff. The first time is because the gun is empty. Then the second one, he grabs more guns and starts shooting at her like a crazy person. But she's like moving around like in an anime almost, like she's jumping to the wall. And for some reason, he misses her every single time, and he gets his head cut off every single time. I find this weird because up until now, we were kind of following the logic of the real world, except the time loop, obviously. But weapons were effective like weapons, and when you got shot, you died. But she's just moving around, like dodging all these bullets like a superhero. This kind of comes out of left field. I found that kind of weird. Um, so yeah, he can't kill her. I just found it weird that she has like actual end boss powers, dodging bullets. So yeah, she keeps killing him. He can't get past her. And apparently he always hear every time Venter comes in and has like a little speech going on, where he talks about blah blah, impressive blah, and you realize, oh, this time he lives longer than before, and he hasn't heard this part of the thing, and then this part of the speech, and then Venter says like, oh, we're building the Osiris spindle, and it's like, oh shit, this is probably the thing I'm trapped in, because I've been in this time loop, and he's talking about time loop stuff. Uh, and at the end of the speech, he takes the sword from the Asian lady. I forgot her name again. Cuts his head off and just gives it back to her. It's like, oh wow, this thing is really sharp. It doesn't even have blood on it. What is it? A katana? And she says, katana's Japanese. This is a Chinese sword. And Venter just says, it's a sword. Don't make it about race. We got back to the respawn of Roy. It's just a really funny line. It's like, it's a sword. Don't make it about race. It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, we also get to know that Venter has no idea that the spindle seems to be working, and he has been trapped in his time loop. And he figures out that Gemma somehow made it work and put him in here in order to stop Ventor because he's going crazy or something. So hey guys, do you remember that Swordmaster champion? Man, she came in handy, didn't she? So yeah, he goes to her, asks her to teach her how to fight with a sword, and she's like, oh, I only have 1 day. And he's like, oh, we can get a lot done in 1 day. So he uses like a bunch of attempts of his life to learn how to fight with a sword. So he learns from the biggest champion. And what I find kind of neat, they kind of account for him always talking for the first time to her. So he kind of changes up his his speech to her. Like the first time it's like, oh yeah, I'm a rookie, I need someone to learn. Then another time it's like, oh yeah, well, I'm a quick learner. And then the third time it's like, oh, I have some, just a little bit of expertise. And it's like, oh, and then the fourth time I had a teacher, but I want to learn more. And yeah, so on and so on. That's kind of a neat little thing that they counted for that. Anyway, he used a couple of his of days, weeks, I don't know, to master the fighting tisms. And we all do this so he can finally beat the sword lady. And yeah, he goes back to that part of the level, if you will. And they have like a little sword fight, which is kind of fun. I wish they would have. This was a cool montage, but he doesn't even need that because he can just learn from the Chinese chicks fight. Like he'll learn every other fight. Yeah, that's also true. That's actually a good point. He could just learn where she attacks and at what points. That's actually a really good point. I didn't think about that. So yeah, he fucking annihilates her in the sword fight. Also cut off her hair. Yeah, I don't know. Don't have huge issues with the fight. Looks kind of neat, I guess. I think we've been. What did I think? Hang on. It could have been a little bit longer, actually. I think it's only like 30-40 seconds long. I think would have been neat. It would have been longer. Anyway, they have the quick fight. And when he finally stabs her, he tells her, "I am Roy, and Roy has done this. Got you back this time. I said the thing to you." Oh yeah, and then the head of security guy gets stabbed by Roy in the fucking forehead. Let me get a picture of this. Boom. And just stumbling around says, "It smells like muffins. Do you smell muffins?" Like his brain is clearly damaged, and yeah, he just stumbles around and finally falls over and dies. I don't know, it's just kind of amusing. Anyway, he gets the venter right after and tells him that the spindle is working, and because I've been in this loop to stop you. And he's like, "Oh fuck, nice, this is actually working." And then he reminds us like, if you do, the thing is online for too long, it explodes and the world ends. Because you remember this thing. No, that's not Big Show. Now you need me to double check, but no, that's not Big Show. No. Not to check. I thought I missed that. I would have mentioned that already. No, that's not the Big Show. So yeah, he starts fucking fucking Venture up a little bit. Tells him that the spindle is working, and he's finally gonna stop him. And then Venture tells him, "Well, if you're here, who's gonna save your boy?" And yeah, apparently this whole time, his son has been killed while he was trying to kill them. And he has this realization that the device ends the world, and he goes, oh yeah, and while he has that realization, the device actually ends the world. And we go back to the beginning of his little cycle. Wait, do we get the explosion here already? Oh yeah, he cuts him up. Oh yeah, this is where he drives over to the boy where the arcade is. And he fights his way through the police. It's like, "This is my son, no!" And then we actually see the thing explode. It's like a big old flumpy dome that just annihilates everything in its way. So yeah. And now Roy has like his low point. He's thinking, it's like, "No, this is all fucking pointless. It's my fault this happened. Because I didn't take the call. Like, it's my fault that my boy died. It's my fault that my wife died." So a couple of days he just lies there and gets stabbed. Oh yeah, we get like a little thing here where he's just lying there waiting for every time to die. He just gets stabbed. So kind of funny. While he has like his depression, he just stays down there and gets stabbed to shit every single day. But yeah, after a couple of times, he decides to get himself back up and decide to do something. But it's not actually already the thing where it's like, "I'm gonna try to save them all." It's like, "No, I'm just gonna go and meet up with my son every day. If I'm stuck in this loop forever and ever, I'm just gonna go hang out with my boy and actually make up for all the time I lost." So they just have a good time together. Getting stabbed isn't funny, Metal. It really hurts. Prove it. But not on me. On someone else, please. So yeah, they just spend time together. He's trying to make the best out of this, because if he's stuck in this loop forever and ever, might as well make the best stuff of it. So yeah, they play some video together. Just some nice little scenes where he's enjoying the time with his son. And he always stays there until the world explodes. And it's really nice because most of the time his son is just asleep in his arms and he doesn't even realize it's happening. But at one cycle, they just chill out at the beach, on the bench. And he realized like, Mom has been talking about you this morning. And he's like, huh? Why is this? When was that? It's like, oh no, let me check my phone. It's like, oh, give me your phone, let me check. And it's like, oh shit, that was like shortly after 7 a.m. That's shortly after I wake up. So she's still alive when I wake up. What? So he realizes there's a chance to now save them both. I mean, the one stabbed guy I met wasn't having any fun. Fine. So yeah, through this conversation, he figures out, oh shit, my ex-wife or wife is still alive. Actually, I have a chance to get her. So yeah, because the son talked to him, to her. So he realizes, shit, there's a chance to actually get her. So on his next attempt, he makes his way back to the base. Just fucking shoots the head of security and Mel Gibson. And he's like, "Oh shit, the spindle, it's working! Hooray!" That's great stuff. There was Will Sasso, the comedian. He once dressed up as Stone Cold Steve Austin once for WWE. Really? Oh, hang on, I actually remember this guy. Will Sasso, Stone Cold. Oh, he was actually on Stone Cold's podcast a while back on the Steve Austin show. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm trying to. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. When was that? That was a while ago. Shit. I'm old. Yeah, but now that you mention it, awesome. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. That's fun. That's good stuff. So yeah, he makes his way to the base, and then he just sees that his dead wife is lying there, suffocated. And so this is a weird part. Instead of interrogating Mel Gibson, for some reason, they have the security footage running on loop where they kill her. I don't know why they decided to do it that way. I like all the screens, all the screens have her getting killed by the head of security guy for some reason. I don't know why they decided to let them run there, but alas, here we are. Oh, sorry about that. So anyway, he makes this thing there because he's trying to get more info. Sees that the head of guy kills her. The head of guy, the head of security killed her. But then he looks at the footage more closely. It's like, oh shit, she died at 7:14. God damn you bots. Hang on. I think James might still be at work. Let me get this sorted real quick. There we go. Nice. Don't worry about it, James. I got it. Don't fall off a roof. So yeah, he figures out that he has 14 minutes to save her, and he's like, "Oh man, there's a chance. Hell yeah!" So he restarts by first shooting Mel Gibson, and then I think shooting himself in the head. That's the second time he does that. He's like, "All right, let's do this," and just shoots himself in the face. So yeah, now we're just we're in the end game now, boys. Burp. Yeah, he restarts, jumps onto the helicopter, to make his way to the facility super fast. And he lands on the roof, takes the Gatling gun with him, and kills all the assassins at once who are waiting in who are about to leave a hallway. So here's the problem. He's still getting tracked right now. Like, he didn't go to the Chinese or anything. He's just going right in there. So I don't know if he was... I think the implication is that he was fast enough that they couldn't get there fast enough. But then again, they're not really moving fast out of the way. Or maybe they think their security is good enough. I don't know. They definitely know he's on his way. So yeah, we just get a final action scene. We get him see the big old Gatling gun shooting up all the assassins. basically stopping them all. So, because I guess he thinks that if he kills all the assassins, there's no one out there killing his son, which apparently is right about. I don't think we get confirmation about that, but apparently he's right about that. Yeah, I guess he kills all the assassins, he kills Mel Gibson, so there's no one left to actually send anyone out. I think it works one way or another. Anyway, he makes his way downstairs, he kills a bunch of dudes. I didn't look too closely at the action scene here. I think it's fine. I mean, he does the thing where he uses a human as a shield, which I think doesn't really work that well. But yeah, some neat shooting. I didn't look too closely into it if he uses more bullets than he should have or whatever. But he actually uses the guns of the other guys, so that's already better than John Wick. So good job on that one. You're doing better than John Wick 2 and 3. I can give you that one for sure. Good job. That's impressive these days. Anyway, he makes his way all the way down there, saves Gemma, kills Mel Gibson and the head of security. No problemo. He's like, oh no, I think they sent people after our son. And he's like, nah, he's fine. There's no one left there. And he tells her, oh, he skipped school, but he's at the arcade, but he's fine. She's like, how do you know that? And he then goes through all the things he talked about his son while he did all the loopy loops. And he's like, oh, he likes this, and he had like a injury from this ball game and this and this. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. And she's like really happy that he made up for all this time. So now he knows all the things. So yeah, they're basically back together. They stand in front of the Osiris spindle. And she tells her to stop this. You need to enter the spindle because he is the missing mass for the time loop to be resurrected, so they can restart the time continuum or something. Some sci-fi mumbo jumbo. Because he's now linked to the thing. He's now linked to the Osiris spindle. And he has to enter it to restart the time stuff to make it go okay-ish again. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna do that. And she's like, but yeah, but you might die, or as she puts it, cease to exist. He's like, okay, as long as you guys are fine, that's good with me, basically. And she's like, oh, well, then just kiss me and tell me that you love me. And she does. He enters the spindle. It's almost a happy end. But he goes in there, the thing reacts, something happens. And we cut to the credits, and it's over. It's over. We did it. We don't get to see what happens. This is all we get. We only see her being shocked at some point. We don't see him evaporate, getting eviscerated, whatever. I don't know if I know if they're trying for some sequel bait. But yeah. That's it. There's no after credit scene or anything. That's how it ends. That's how we do it. That's the thing. But yeah, would have been funny if we aimed too high with the minigun the first time Dwarf survived and just killed him. Honestly, I fully expected that to happen. I would have bet good money, by the way the movie has been going so far, that was exactly what would have happened. And when it didn't happen, I was very disappointed. It was such an obvious joke to make, and they didn't do it, and I was very upset. I was very upset about that. Because it was my first thought when he started shooting. It's like, he's gonna miss the smaller guy, and then he's gonna get killed. And then it didn't happen. It's like, damn it. Yeah. I thought the ending sends him back to the start of the day and has to do it all again. But this time, if he dies, that's it. That's actually something I thought they would do to raise the stakes at the end. Like, he He gets rid of the time loop thing, and now he has to be perfect on the end. I thought that's something they would be going for, but they didn't. Yeah. So yeah, boss level. It's alright. It's fun. It's time loop stuff that feels video gamey in the beginning. Because I think like in the first quarter or something, I was pretty sure they were going for a video game thingy where where the video game character got conscious or something. Because that's how they present it to you with the whole 8-bit stuff. But that's not what we were going for at all, apparently. So yeah, I was pretty sure they were going for it because they did the whole attempt thing and the 8-bit intro with the developers, I say, with the studios and everything. It's like, oh, this is just gonna be video game, but it's just video gamey. It feels like a video game. So yeah, definitely one of those movies you can just pop on with your homies when you're having some drankaroonies. I mean, it's not great. It's like probably story wise, it's actually pretty bad. Probably. I didn't look super close into it. I mean, we have all this time shenanigans and could some better stuff here and there. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's definitely a fun movie. I'll probably show that to my friendos one day, just when we have some table barbecue or whatever. And the CGI is like pretty jank. Like you can tell it's like pretty low tier CGI almost. Because you can tell it doesn't really work out with the thing. What score would you give the film? It'll need to cold hard numbers. Give us the flumes. Oh, I don't know. I think if I would go through it like super critically, probably like a 3.5 or 4, I would say. Maybe higher. That's just my current thing. But it's very fun. Like I would still recommend watching it. But like on a objective flume, it's probably pretty low. But on the fun meter, I'll probably give like a 6. Because I would still put other movies on instead of this one, like Shoot 'em Up and shit like this. Like Shoot 'em Up is like peak actionism movie. Yeah, that's probably what I would go for, roundabout. Gun to my head. Yeah, fun movie. Go out of way to watch it if you just want to have something in the background. Or maybe even while you play a little game or something. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's your choice. I'm not your dad. I'm not your dad. But yeah, that's the thing. I did it. We did it even. So yeah, let's go here and read those super chatteroonies. The 10 buckaroonies from James, thank you. Would have been neat if they had a timer up on screen once in a while to see how long it takes them to do things, mess around, then leave the timer on screen for the last perfect run. Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been neat. But I think then you would have other problems you had to look out for, I think. So yeah, we'll see. You can watch it while you play Dark Souls 2, chat. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, 100 buckaroos from Neon. Thank you very much. And it just says Flemmenheimers. Well, thank you. That's very kind. Thank you very much. Very, very kind. Thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. I did it. So yeah, next week on Sunday will be The Wrestler, and I'll be joined by good old Porcus, my old buddy Porcus. I'm gonna talk about The Wrestler on Sunday night. I'll obviously tweet out when that's gonna happen, and yeah, I won't be around this weekend. So depending on when I will be back on Sunday, I might do a Twitch stream, play some more Ocarina of Time. If not, I'll definitely be playing on the Monday. And then on Sunday will be the Metals Forge on the Wrestler. In between, I'll be having a friendo over a long weekend. We might stream some stuff. I'm not sure yet. I don't think the lads are on top of the super chats yet, but if they will finally get on top of the super chats and are kind of caught up completely, I will definitely go out of my way and start to plan another Dranklich stream with games, because it's been way too long. But obviously I want the lads to be around, and I'm sure Mupshti wants to make a EFAP gaming out of that as well. So that's probably going to be fun stuff. Obviously everybody know when that's going to be as soon as I know more. I'm going to do all kinds of shenanigans, play some Pummel Party and stuff, or probably not TKO, Gartic Phone. So that's probably going to be good. So yeah, as I said, working on some other stuff in the background, namely the John Wick 2 script. I'm working on that whenever I have time. Obviously doing the Metals Forge is like my main priority right now, because I want to get one of those out every week, because these are fun. And yeah, that's about it. If I'm not doing any of those, I'm either working or I'm streaming on the Twitch. So there you go. That's my update for what is happening. So yeah, I either see you all on the Twitch stream, I'll see you all on another stream, or I'll see you all in the next Metals Forge. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for the generous donations. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, just thanks for the support. I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.